An organization is a complex structure. The leaders or people at the top often find themselves looking at the general group in contempt because their minor issues seem so trivial compared to the grand problems that the mass has to overcome. At the same time, general workers look up from their bottom positions to see a pompous leader who can't understand how small issues join together to create big problems that disrupt the overall workflow. In the world of Arcasia, I traveled the lands and even got knighted by the king of the continent Lutera. I was granted leadership over a region, which I was reluctant to do at first, but I quickly saw how easy it would be for someone like me to manage, and I took the job. We created facilities, started working on trade exports. Things were good. However, a message was brought to me one day from another struggling region, one that I had been to before. Its leader was being called incompetent because of how bad things have been going recently. And I thought that this was really unfair because not only does he have to fend off an army of demons, but just after he was placed in charge, a large number of his townspeople were branded heretics from a religious group from another continent. They were put in front of a firing squad of archers and executed.
Blasphemers, there's no escape for you, except the salvation of the light.
You've got it wrong. We're not heretics.
Please, listen to me. These people are...
Execute them!
Hold it!
Father Armin, I ordered you to leave.
They are not heretics.
We are fulfilling the will of the gods!
Solus!
Fire!
Stop this!
And as you can imagine, that was bad for morale all around. We were actually in the middle of renovating my manor when the meeting request was made to me. I had all of my workers stop working and wait for my orders, because I knew that if he was swallowing his pride and asking for help, things were bad. We were going to need a lot of hands, a lot of resources, but we wouldn't have a whole lot of time, and I was bracing for the worst. So when I arrived at the meeting place, imagine how surprised I was when all he asked for was potions. I was like, dude, can your people really afford you being coy in these circumstances? Sure, he had managed to fight back the demon army significantly, but taking care of the injured was stressing his supplies. I decided that I wasn't going to push the issue, and I was just going to go ahead and get to work. After heading back to Crimson Keep, I made the call that we would do our best to supply both quality and quantity. I researched more effective healing potions, and began making as many as we possibly could. We actually ended up receiving extra help from some of his people who finally recognized how far everyone was going to make the situation better. Once the potions were complete, they got shipped out immediately. But all of this got me thinking, the blame that comes from people in charge or people below those in charge is always this cruel back and forth where the leader's always not doing enough and the workers are also never doing enough. Each side always blaming the other when it doesn't really help anything. When you're in charge of something like a guild or a free company, a grand company, anything really, you have to take that sort of thing into consideration because it can be really difficult for one side to see and understand the struggles that the other is going through. So, if you're in charge of a group, a guild, a clan, anything like that, keep that in mind and do your best to make it clear what you're working towards and what's working against you so that the people who follow you understand that when you make these calls, you have a reason for it, you know? That's all I wanted to say. Me and the Crimson Keep are going to get back to work, and we should have some exciting news to share soon.